just want to get an idea, like, how much have you grown up in a year and a half? I mean, when you look at you now and you know, when you got to Alabama, what's different about you? How are you a different person now?
Just the way I approach the game, you know, it's when you first get in college, it's kind of like, all right, well, see ball, run, catch, bad. But now it's kind of like understanding why, you know, a lot of things are going on around you, like how players are developing, like the details in the play, like what everybody's doing. You know, when I first got to college, I didn't really understand like fronts and what the offensive guard is doing or what the tackle is doing. But now it's more like knowing what's happening, why that guard is blocking this 3 technique, or why this tackle is pulling. Or, you know, I'm just saying kicking how he's kicking. So it's just a lot of maturity within the game itself.
Is that just because when you're in high school and you're that fast and they just give you the ball and you go?
Yeah,
is that pretty much it?
Some of that. You know, high school is kind of like, you know, you're the best player on the field. They just give you the ball, you run and score, and it's all good. But you know, up to college, everybody's good. Everybody was that guy on their high school team. So you gotta really be in tune to really like the details of what's going on.
When did you kind of realize it's not the same anymore? That you can't just outrun people and you can't just out-talent people?
Kind of towards the middle of my freshman camp at Alabama, I kind of realized, like, okay, yeah, it's real. Like, people are doing this, trying to make a living out of this now, you know. But it was. I think it would have been a quicker adjustment. You know, I ended up getting hurt, but I was starting to slowly adjust to, like, okay, this is serious now. You know.
What made you decide it wasn't going to work out at Alabama? That you know, obviously everyone has some tough times as a freshman, whether you're a football player or not. What made you decide, all right, I got to go somewhere else? I need a new start someplace.
It wasn't really one exact thing, but, you know, just something I felt on my heart that I needed to do. So, you know, just ended up making that transition, and hopefully, thankfully, it worked out.
Right. When we talked about this last week, you said, you know, that the biggest thing you learned was how much, you know, noticing how your actions affect other people.
Yeah.
What led you to that? You know, was there anything you did or got in trouble for or whatever that kind of put that in sharp relief for you, that, okay, I've got to think about more than just me?
Not really, but just, you know, just as far as representing, like, my last name and representing the people around me, you know, little things you do, you don't really think about how you're really selfish in thinking about, like, okay, maybe it's just affecting me, but, you know, when you do anything you do, good or bad, you know, it affects this T on my chest, you know, my mom, my family. So just realizing that things you do, you know, it's a ripple effect. That kind of was the one thing that I learned a lot about.
What? How does that change how you operate now? What do you do differently? What were certain things that maybe you're more considerate of now, I guess, maybe than you would have been before?
Just the way I carry myself overall, you know, on and off the field. Just carry myself differently. Not saying that I carry myself in a bad manner before, but just making sure that the way I carry myself, the way I interact with people is, you know, always good, positive.
What? How do you sort of view your? I don't want to say view your role in this team. That's not what I'm going for. But in terms of how you've been used with this group, you know, in complimenting Jalen, basically, what did you kind of expect for it to be like, and how is what's actually happened on the field so far this year related to that? I mean, are you doing what you expected to be doing?
Yeah,
do you like what your role is?
Yeah, I like what my role is. You know, I'm pretty much doing what I expect to be doing. Just being a spell for Jalen, being able to take a little bit of pressure off him, catching some passes, taking some carries, doing some different things in special teams where, you know, I can't really ask for more than doing what I'm doing, what the coaches asked from me.
I want to ask you a little about your style. I got to ask about this nose ring, man. Yeah. Nobody else. Where did that come from? When did you start wearing that thing?
I don't know. At first, I just had the stud, so, you know, I just had the stud walking around, you know. I don't know what made me get this. I kind of always wanted one. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to get it. And one day I was like, you know what? This tattoo shop down the street from my house, I had a little $10 Tuesday special, so I'm like, okay, I'm about to go. And just did it. So cooling with this for about a couple months. And then I'm like, I got kind of bored with it, so I was like, I'm going to take it out. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just add to it. And just was thinking about what else I could do just to just look different, I guess.
What's your whole, because I was talking to Kyler about this, Kerberson. He said, you got like a pink backpack or something like that and a fedora. Where's your whole kind of style sense come from? And what are you trying to do? What's the look that you're going?
My style, I don't know. It's just different. Like my sister's like really in the fashion world. You know, she lives in LA. So like from when I was little, like growing up, it's just been like a lot of fashion, like thrown at me, and just really on top of just a lot of things in the fashion world. So I don't know. I like to say I'm one of the more stylish guys that I know.
What's some of your go-to stuff that like nobody else on this team wears?
Go-to stuff, like with the fedora, the hat, you know, just little detailed stuff. You know, some guys I wear a lot of expensive stuff, and some guys are like, "Whoa, where you get that from?" Or like, "How much is that?" And when I tell them, they're like, "Oh no, I'll never pay that much." But just from like shoes, like I got a pair of like $500, $600 pair of shoes, like sneakers, some Balenciagas, and I wear those, and they're like, "Man, you wear them like you don't even care, you just stepping everywhere." I'm like, "Shoot, I'm gonna enjoy them." So yeah.
So how much do you save up for that?